welcome on into another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, that's Will, and we are ready to break down some Thursday sports. It will be heavily NHL focused today. I don't have anything in the baseball game, and I don't have anything in the NFL game. Um, that NFL game with the beautiful slate of hockey we have, that NFL game shouldn't even exist tonight in people's minds. We got a good hockey slate, and that's what I will be watching. But before we get to that, we will look at the current standings for the show. So MLB going well, profitable there. NFL, nothing has changed. I moved hockey down next. Best bets going well. Over under about even. Dog of the day a little bit down, or quite a bit down, but lots of a season left to go. Baseball, or sorry, NBA, a good start. Bryant hit his best bet. He hit his dog of the day. Tim and Nick both hit their over under. So overall, a good start with NBA. And then nothing has changed with college football or other sports. But we will jump right into today's slate here. Smash a like. Thank you, Richie. Much appreciated. So we'll go through most of the games here. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in the goalie poll segment for the end, but we'll focus on quite a few of them here. Starting with LA and Pittsburgh here. Let me fix that. LA and Pittsburgh here, and I'll bring up the odds. This game, right away, as soon as I saw it, I was looking at the over. So I'll bring it up here. Now you can currently find LA plus 155 to plus 170. Pittsburgh is minus 182 to minus 208. 6.5s right across the board. Minus 118 to minus 122, minus 125, depending on what books you have access to for the over. Two of Pittsburgh's 3 games have gone over. 4 of LA's 5 games have gone over. When these two teams have faced each other in Pittsburgh, the last 3 have gone over. And then in the last 6 meetings overall, 5 of 6 have gone over. So these two teams are heavily trending to the over right now. They've heavily trended towards the over against each other. Another stat, 4 of the last 6 times LA has gone to Pittsburgh, it's gone overtime. And if you look at different books, I got plus 405 on the draw in this game. Plus 405. That's absolutely insane. I got it at Sports Interaction, so any Canadians that have access to that, that's absolutely insane. Plus 405. Yes, the draw isn't easy to cash, but they do happen between these two teams. So I look for an over a 6.5, which I got at minus 120. The draw plus 405, and Gabriel Velarde to get a point. He is LA's top player so far in points this year, and plus 110 to get a point, which I think is crazy for the best player on the team in a game that I really like to go over. And you're going to give me their current best player at plus 110 to get a point. Of course, I'm going to take that. So that's what I like for this game. Will, Kings, Penguins, what do you think here?
Yeah, I think the market has this game pretty correct with the numbers. I lean a little bit towards the over. Obviously, these teams have been very offensive this year. My edge on this one would be Cal Peterson over 30.5 saves at almost even money. Pittsburgh has allowed has shot 42 shots per game this year, and LA has allowed 35. So I went with the over 30.5 saves for Cal Peterson, who I think is going to get peppered tonight by this Pittsburgh offense. I also may post a play later, but if people are watching, head to Caesars. You can parlay Crosby over 1.5 points with Gensel over 0.5 point for a nice juicy price. I think it has some value tonight. I have their team total over 4 goals.
Yeah, that was awesome. You told me before the show, because I thought only Bet365 you could do same game parlays for the points. I know you can do same game parlays at a lot of books like DraftKings, you can, but you can't. You can only choose a player to score a goal. They weren't allowing you to do points. Bet365 allows you to do points, and I guess Caesars does as well. So that's great news because yeah, if you look at line pairings, and these guys play together, so if one's going to get a point, the other one is likely going to get a point as well. So there's a ton of value you can take in that. Liam likes Malkin over 3.5 shots on goal. Yeah, he was like 2 goals the last game. So obviously, if he's scoring goals, he's definitely shooting the puck. So I want to talk you off that. We'll go into the second game here, Anaheim Ducks and the Boston Bruins. You can find Anaheim plus 170 to plus 190. Boston is minus 210 to minus 222. 6.5s right across the board in this game. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to the over in this one. Over 6.5. Both meetings last year went over between these teams. Both of these teams this year are heavily trending towards the over. Sadly, the Anaheim and New Jersey game did not get to the over. Um, there was plenty of chances for it to go over. It didn't quite get there, but Boston sure did go over against Ottawa. Both teams went over the total there. So I like for another high scoring game in this one. And I also have Troy Terry to get a point for minus 115. He is the by far the best player so far for Anaheim this year. And he's minus 115 to get a point in a game that I think is going to go over. So easy decision there. I'm taking that. And also another thing, Anaheim 16, 5, and 3 in their last 24 meetings against Boston. For some reason, Boston has had an issue with the Ducks, including both games last year, um, which Anaheim swept Boston last year. So I don't like the situation that how the Ducks are playing right now. So I'm not going to be on them, even though plus 170, plus 190, there's quite a bit of value there. I just don't like how they're playing right now. But I will take Terry to get a point and the over 6.5, minus 115. Will, Ducks and Bruins, what do you think here?
Yeah, I took the minus 1.5, plus 120 yesterday. I think I have this game projected as a 2 goal difference, about a 6% edge towards the Bruins. I just think this is a bad spot for Anaheim. Anaheim has been getting outplayed expected goals by in the expected goal category uh, by 2 or 3 goals per game, and they're allowing 42 shots per game as well. I was thinking about the Gibson save prop, but it opened up at 33.5, which is way too high for me. I was hoping for 30.5, kind of like Cal. We were going to ride those two in tandem, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Isaac says, of course, a Terry prop. Hey, it's my first time of the year being on him to get a point here. No, it's not because his last name is my first name, but it just is a coincidence, I guess. But we'll go on to the next game here, Dallas and Toronto. You can find the Stars anywhere from plus 150 to plus 160. Toronto minus 175 to minus 192. 6.5s right across the board. A lot of 6.5s tonight, pretty much across most of the games. In this one here, and for me, these two teams are playing differently right now. Toronto is going 2-2 against Montreal, Ottawa, Arizona, and Washington. Um, I think for a Toronto team with the team they have, they should be better than 2-2 against those four teams. Dallas has started off 3-0, giving up 1 goal a game, scoring 4 goals. Um, I get it. Wedgwood's in net. I bet it yesterday at plus 147 for Dallas. You can now get it like plus 160 because Wedgwood is in net. Obviously, I'd like it a lot more with Ottinger, but this Dallas team is just playing better right now than Toronto, and I think it's way too big of a plus price for the team that's playing better. So, yes, Toronto could come out here and have a good game and beat up on Dallas. It's very possible, but with the plus money that I'm getting, I have to take the Stars in this one. And I also took Mason Marchment over half a point at minus 101. So basically pretty much plus 100. He's been pretty good for Dallas so far. I think this is a good spot for him and a good price for him to get a point here. Will, Stars, Leafs. What do you think here?
Last year, I project this game 3.5 to 2.5 in favor of the Leafs. And my projections are very heavy on home and away splits. But this year, it's the exact opposite. Toronto offense has been dreadful, and the Stars defense has been amazing. So this is the type of game where I need to just sit back and watch these teams for the next few weeks, get some more numbers, and we'll be back in the middle of the year to play this game again for me. But I do see why the Stars has value based on their performance in the first 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, for sure. We'll go on along to the next one here. The San Jose Sharks and the New York Rangers here. You can find San Jose plus 225 to plus 252. The Rangers are minus 275 to minus 333. Again, 6.5s right across the board in this one here. I'm not getting involved in the total here at 6.5. There's other totals I like. Rangers have won the last 7 games against San Jose. Rangers are just playing really well this year. I think this is a great spot for them. I got them at plus 100 on the puck line yesterday. Now you're looking at minus 108 to minus 115. Obviously, I like it a lot better at plus money than I do like minus 115. But this is not a good spot for the Sharks. Have not played well all year long, and now they get to face the best team I think they've faced so far. Maybe Carolina's comparable, but Rangers another good team, and I don't think it's a good spot for the Sharks. So give me the Rangers minus 1.5, which I got for plus 100 yesterday. Will, Sharks, Rangers, what do you think here?
Yeah, I was asleep at the wheel yesterday. I wasn't actually asleep, but I missed a few numbers. I wish I got this at plus money. Instead, I went with a parlay. I went under 2.5 with San Jose team total and under 7.5 with the game with the 2 correlations there. I have 1.71 projected goals for San Jose tonight, and the 2.5 got shot down from minus 115 to minus 150 since last night. So I had to go another route, and so I went with the parlay. This San Jose offense has also been dreadful, and they're going up against maybe the best goaltender in the league. So I just don't see how the Sharks are going to shock the world and get their first win against the Rangers tonight. This Rangers team is not just a defensive powerhouse. They have the best power play in the NHL on top of it.
Yeah, basically they would just have to not show up, and the Sharks would have to show up. Like, it could happen. It's very possible, but I shouldn't say it's very possible. It's possible things happen, but
I don't think this is the spot. It will happen this year. I just don't think this is the spot.
Igor has very good numbers against San Jose, 3-0, and with under 1 goals against average. So I want to talk you. If I know you're a Penguins fan, so Liam, so you might be trying to jinx him, maybe. But I want to talk anybody off looking at that bet for Igor shutout. But we will go on along to the next game. 3 more left, and we'll get to the goalie pull segment where we have a few of the games. Obviously, we are going to talk about this one. We have the Vancouver Canucks and the Minnesota Wild. You can find Vancouver plus 140 to plus 155. Minnesota minus 173 to minus 188. 6.5s again, right across the board in this one here. Okay, I have a lot of opinions, obviously, about this game. I guess I'll start with both teams obviously have not played well to start the season, but you have to look at who these 2 teams have faced. So Minnesota obviously faced the Stanley Cup champions from last year and the Colorado Avalanche. They faced the New York Rangers, which are a lot of people's Stanley Cup picks for this year. And they also faced the LA Kings, a playoff team from last year. No excuses. The first 2 games were absolutely dreadful. The Wild's defense did look a lot better against Colorado. There were a couple goals that were potential high stick goals that weren't reviewed. There was a fluky bounce on Gustafson, an empty net goal. So the score obviously looks a lot worse than it was, but Minnesota's defense played a lot better against the Avalanche. Meanwhile, Vancouver is facing teams like Columbus and Philadelphia, having 2-goal leads and then blowing them. They also did that in their their two other games against um, Washington and Edmonton. So for me, obviously at the price, I get why people would want to take Vancouver, but this is just not a good spot for them. Minnesota's also won the last 5 regular meetings against this team, and Fleury. How horrible he was in his first 2 games, really horrible. But he's 13-3-2 against the Vancouver Canucks in his career with a 2.5 goals against. I think this is the perfect spot for him to bounce back. I think this Wild team wins. I think they cover the puck line. I'm on Wild plus 143. I'm on the over 6.5. I like the over a little bit less, knowing that the entire world is on the over, as well as the fact that Fleury's numbers against Vancouver. I could see a potential 5-1 game where the Wild blow out the Canucks and the game doesn't go over. But I'm still on the over. And I'm also on the Wild's best player so far this year to get a point, Matt Boldy, minus 110. I know it's weird not saying Kaprizov. They're technically tied for the top points, but Matt Boldy to get a point. I'm also on Marco Rossi to get a goal, plus 450. He is playing with Matt Boldy today. He was scratched in the other game. Another reason why I like Minnesota in this game, Jordan Greenway will be returning for the first time his season debut on the line with Eriksson Ek and Marcus Foligno. Those three, the Grief line, are Minnesota's shutdown forward group that are used to shut down the top opponents. Obviously, not having Greenway has affected that line, but I think it'll help them today. One more point. Yes, I have a lot to say on this game. Minnesota is the second best power play in the league this year. Vancouver is the second worst. Yes, it is early on in the season to look at those numbers, but if you look at last year, Vancouver's penalty kill was pretty awful last year as well. The Wild had a good road power play, not good at home. They've solved their issues with Kalen Addison being the quarterback on the power play. So I like Matt Boldy to get a power play point, a plus 260. Matt Zuccarello to get a power play point, a plus 138. And Kirill Kaprizov to get a power play point, a plus 112. I think there will be penalties in this game, and I think the Wild will take advantage against this Canucks penalty kill that has not played well. Well, Canucks, Wild. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, so I have another about a 5 to 6% edge on the Canucks, which is my fourth game in a row with having about between a 6% to 10% edge on the Canucks. I'm going to wait until right before puck drop and put a Canucks money line bet in. I may not even post it on Twitter. It just for myself. They're going to start winning. This team has had 2-goal leads in, I believe, the first 4 games this year. And I understand that they've lost all of those leads, and that is something you need to look at. But the fact of the matter is, they've had 2-goal leads in every game this year. They're not an awful team. In this season, I believe 29 out of 59 NHL games have had comeback wins. It's half the games this year. So the Canucks are just, it'll revert to the mean, and they will get some wins when they get 2-goal leads. And I think tonight is one of those nights with them going net.
All right. We will definitely see. We'll go on to the next game.
I'm terrified, but
I don't think they get a 2-goal lead in this one. I think Fleury comes motivated. Obviously, I'm a Wild fan, so take my opinion at what you like. But I just think getting Greenway back, having Rossi with Boldy, Flower good against the Canucks. I just think this is a good spot for the Wild. I think they're big favorites for a reason, but we'll see. We'll see. Going on to this game, we have the Carolina Hurricanes You can get them for minus 105 or minus 110 to plus 100. Edmonton is minus 108 to minus 116. Again, 6.5s right across the board in pretty much all the games today. Carolina 4-0 in their last 4 games in Edmonton. 7-1-1 in their last 9 games against Edmonton. If you've seen this Carolina team play this year, they have been pretty much flawless. 4-0. Sorry, 3-0. Winning 4-1, 2-1, and 5-1, allowing 1 goal a game. Obviously, this is their best opponent that they're going to face, but I like the Hurricanes here. Plus money, it's a no-brainer. Plus 100. I like the Hurricanes here in this one. Will, Hurricanes, Oilers, what do you think here?
Yeah, I lean towards the Hurricanes, and I also lean towards the over, but I'm not going to have a play here. Maybe you could parlay both teams to score 2.5 goals somewhere. I haven't looked at prices. I'm just looking at my model right now. I have both teams projected for over 3.5 goals. So I think that that's a good way to play this game. The Oilers seem to be in all of their games close right to the end. And I can see both teams getting 3 goals pretty easily here tonight. Yeah, Hurricanes money line yesterday as dogs was a great play. I mean, they are a very good team, and Edmonton has questions in goal, and Hurricanes are just going to pepper them all night long. So,
yeah, for sure. Going on along to this game here, this one's really interesting. The Buffalo Sabres and the Calgary Flames. You can get Buffalo plus 210 to plus 250. You can get Calgary minus 267 to minus 320. Again, 6.5s right across the board. For me, I took Buffalo plus 1.5. I got it minus 107. You can get it for plus 100 at MGM. Pretty much the same. Obviously, they're different teams, Edmonton and Calgary, but Buffalo, scrappy team at the beginning of the year. I think plus money for the plus 1.5. I thought Buffalo would cover the puck line. I thought they would potentially lose by 1. I didn't think they'd win straight up against Edmonton. Obviously, Calgary, a different animal. They're both good teams, but Calgary, a different kind of team than Edmonton. But once again, Sabres plus 1.5. I don't think they win this game, but I could be surprised again. But I think they can keep it close. Another reason, Buffalo 3-1-1 in their last 5 games in Calgary. 4 of those 5 went to overtime. So kind of like Pittsburgh and LA, these two teams go to overtime when they face each other. And Buffalo has covered the plus 1.5 in the last 6 meetings against Calgary in general. These two teams play a close game against each other, and you're getting plus 100 for the plus 1.5. Other spots minus 105. It's a great price, I think, here for the Sabres. Will, Sabres, your team, Calgary Flames. What do you think here?
yeah, I'm just happy that I get to turn the TV on and watch a competitive team. It was a good 5 to 7 years there of non-competitive hockey. Pee wee level hockey, turnovers is coming out of the defensive zone, giving teams goals. It was just bad and hard to watch. So it's fun to watch a team that is competitive in the NHL. But tonight is not the night. I'm going to be playing the Sabres. Definitely lean the Flames minus 1.5 at plus money yesterday. I don't know about now. I have this game projected a 2-goal difference. Sabres only projected 2.3 goals tonight. I just think this Flames team is much better than people understand and really see. I mean, you're watching them outplay very good teams, Colorado, Vegas, and the Sabres have never played a team this talented and this put together. These kids, yes, Sabres for the cup, but these kids are going to get killed tonight, in my opinion.
Dang, I hope not. I hope your Sabres keep it another close game.
Oh, me too. I think this is a big if they do, watch out. This team could actually, I don't want to overreact, but you're talking low playoff caliber team here. If they can go and beat Edmonton and Calgary back to back.
For me, it's the Sabres at the beginning of the year. They're a team I want to bet on at the beginning of the year because for some reason they play well. Sadly, The time will come. Well, it has come in previous, and it might not necessarily happen this year, but in previous years, the time came where they just fell off a cliff. So we'll see if that happens this year. Flames will burn down the town of Buffalo. Well, they're in Calgary, so that won't happen here. But sadly, I think Buffalo could upset. Hey, I think he could be right too. Sabres are actually scary to start off the year. Just need better than Comrie Anderson as a tandem. Anderson's looked good, but he can, as long as he's healthy, he has looked good.
Just for the future, we got some serious. We got UPL, we got Devin Levi, some serious goaltending talent,
and even prospects that having like Buffalo is the future is bright for the Sabres for sure. Finally. Going on to the goalie poll segment, looking at the rest of the games. I didn't know how many people would be here today, so I condensed the rest, but that's fine. Arizona, Montreal. The only game I really don't have an opinion on. I took Arizona plus 2.5 against Toronto, basically because Toronto had not won in regulation against Arizona since 2002. And what happens? Arizona wins straight up. Nick was lucky to have the money line for the Yotes. I didn't go that far, but I was happy with my plus 2.5 because it basically was easy money. Taking Arizona was easy money. You're not going to hear me say that probably again ever. But in this spot here against Montreal, I don't know that they have the same kind of result. I'm not taking Montreal, but if I was forced to choose something in this game, it would be Montreal money line and a parlay of some kind. Maybe Montreal team total. It would be a look at Montreal, but I didn't get to anything. Washington and Ottawa. Another previous history stat that's very heavy in this one. Washington 17-2-1 in their last 20 games against Ottawa. They've completely dominated the Senators, and they're 8-1-1 in their last 10 games in Ottawa. They've dominated the Senators there. I'm taking, even with the injury issues that is happening with Washington, I'm taking them. I got them at plus 100. You can currently find them for plus 100 in some spots. Senators did look very good against Boston, scored some goals. That's what I expect from the Senators, the team this year, is for them to score a lot of goals and give up a lot of goals, kind of like that Boston game. And sometimes they'll be able to outscore their opponents, sometimes they won't. Darcy Kemper for Washington. I don't have his exact record up here, but he has a very good record against Ottawa as well. So for me, it's Washington a plus money in that one. Nashville, Columbus. I saw it was it opened up at plus 100 for both teams. So Nashville was actually at plus 100 for a very brief amount of time. I was going to take them at plus 100, but minus 140 is a pass for me ultimately. Devils and Islanders. I would lean to the over, especially with Devils games, but the Islanders this year as well have played to the over. So I would lean to the over there, and I think the Islanders win. So maybe something you could do is take the Islanders money line and parlay it with over. Maybe get over 6 and alternate over just in case, maybe, and put the Islanders money line in the over 6 or over 5.5. That could be a good look there. And then Winnipeg and Vegas. Winnipeg 7-1 in their last 8 games against Vegas. I was wanting to take the under in this game, but Hellebuck played last night, so it'll most likely be David Riddick here. So I will not be taking an under, and I will not be backing Winnipeg as a dog either. So that game is ultimately a pass. Will, final 5 games of the night, goalie poll segment. What do you think?
Yeah, so I had a lean on Nashville and the Islanders yesterday, but it seems the line movement has kind of taken those away. I ended up going Nashville over 6.5 and Nashville over 3.5 team total for tonight. Columbus just hasn't been that strong defensively, and I think Nashville is going to have a game where they open up offensively. It's been a quiet first 5 games for this offensive talent. So that's how I looked at those games. For Washington, I have about an 8% edge here after the injury line movement. I was a little worried at my edge before when it was minus 130, but now that it's, plus 100, I made a play. I posted on Twitter earlier today, a half unit play on that. I have a good 5% edge on the Coyotes, but the Canadians have just played so differently at home than on the road in the 2 games at home versus the 2 games on the road. So I'm going to stay away from that one, but I would lean the Coyotes and the over in that game. So really my only play out of these 5 games is the Washington money line and Nashville over and Nashville team total over.
All right. And that, moving on, BetStamp, use code WILD in the referral code section. Do your line shopping. Find the best odds for whatever you are betting. Find my picks there at Let's Go Wild Picks, and you can get them as soon as I bet them. I'm starting to do more bets the night before. I noticed I beat a lot of lines today. So we'll probably look at lines for tomorrow. If you want a free pick for tomorrow's show that I'll be giving out on tomorrow's show, I'm looking at Detroit and Chicago. It's Chicago. And I'll obviously have more of an opinion tomorrow once I've locked down the stats.
You're on Chicago?
No, Detroit.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
Oh, I'm 100% on Detroit. No.
It's about to throw a
I
party.
like the Red Wings this year so far. But I'm saying it's Chicago that they're playing, which is basically my reasoning for take Detroit because it's Chicago. But BetStamp, use code WILD in the referral code section. Other picks, I don't have any today. In basketball, I'm looking at the Clippers. I think the Clippers win, but I did not take them on the spread. I didn't get involved in any college football. Did not get involved in New Orleans and Arizona. Yuck. And the Yankees, Houston. I'm done with baseball. I'll say it on the show now. My taking the Phillies yesterday, first 5 as my best bet in full game. They were up 4-0, and it was looking great. And then everything completely fell apart in the bottom of the 5th. And that's how my baseball betting season will end, is with that disaster, because I'm done now. So no other picks for me here in this one. Will, any other picks in any other sports that you want to give out?
Not right now. I looked at tomorrow. I don't really have any big edges for the slate tomorrow. So I'll be back on Saturday. I'm getting more information. It's pretty interesting. If I have a team projected for more than 4 goals, they're 7-4 to the over 3.5. So just these little things that I'm figuring out from my model, and we'll see if 11 is a small sample size, but we'll see if they continue, and maybe we can have some edges in the future.
Yeah, Turnsy, it is funny taking Blackhawks against your Red Wings. I'm on your Red Wings, Turnsy. We can make money together with them tomorrow. My phone just fell face first. Great. Yikes. I hope it is still working for you. We will go to the best bet segment here, and I will bring everything up. We'll start with over under, as we always do here. And for me, LA Pittsburgh over 6.5. And this one, Nick is going with the Islanders and New Jersey over 6.5. I will get the odds for that. Tim is going Vancouver, Minnesota over 6.5. Bryant is taking the Arizona Cardinals in the NFL game, first quarter team total over 3.5. Ice X is going Dallas, Toronto under 6.5. Kohler is going Arizona, Montreal under 6.5. And Melissa is going Anaheim, Boston over 6.5. Will, is there a total that you like today?
Yeah, Nashville, Columbus over 6.5.
All right. And then we'll go on to dog of the day. Oh, sorry?
I would only take it at minus 110 for people watching. Just want to put that out there.
Okay. National Columbus. Let's see what the odds are right now. Minus 110 are the best odds you can get for it. So you get it? I get it at that price. Going on to dog of the day. Carolina Hurricanes at plus money. Against a team they've done well against. Sign me up. Carolina Hurricanes. Nick, sorry. Shockingly going with the Vancouver Canucks, which I think is like plus 150. I'll get the odds on that after the show. Tim is going with the Buffalo Sabres, plus 266. Ryan is also taking the Carolina Hurricanes. Occupancy is going with the Dallas Stars. Bryant is taking his New York Yankees. IceX is going with the LA Kings. Toller is going against his Nashville Predators, taking Columbus, plus 130. And Melissa is taking Washington Capitals, plus 100. And then going, I almost skipped. I did skip you, Will. Is there a dog today for you?
Yeah, it would be the Capitals as well for me.
Capitals plus 100. And then going on to best bet of the day. For me, Minnesota, Matthew Boldy, over half a point. In this one, minus 110. Nick is going Vegas Golden Knights, minus 1.5, plus 130. Tim is taking the Carolina Hurricanes, minus 1.5, plus 210. Ryan is going with Washington and Ottawa, over 6.5. Occupancy is taking Jake DeBrusk, over 2.5 shots. Bryant is taking Boston first period, minus a half. IceX is taking Pavel Zacha, anytime goal, which he's already cashed once this year. Toller is taking Washington, Ottawa, over 6.5. And Melissa is taking Vegas first period, minus a half, plus 130. Will, what do you think here for best bet?
Yeah, I'm just going to double check really quickly a team total. Yeah, I'm not touching that. Bruins puck line. Team total over 3.5 is minus 148.
Oh, wow.
It's a little high.
Yeah, a little. Boston Bruins, minus 1.5 for Will. And that is today's show. Best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. My favorite slate of the year. Hopefully it goes well. My biggest slate of the year. My biggest card of the year. So we'll see what happens. But best of luck to everybody in your bets tonight. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the content. Smash like button if you enjoyed the content. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Another episode. Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Best of luck, guys.